Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your home for all things that go bump in the dark and your fan stories told here. Today's story comes from Jason and Caroline and truly asks the questions about mirrors and antiques and can evil live within. My wife absolutely loves antiquing, and I've never really enjoyed it myself, but I was doing my good husbandly duty. Her birthday was coming up, so I went to the antique store that she really enjoyed going to, and I bought her this beautiful antique mirror. It had gold trim and was in a frame. I'd never seen it before. The owner of the antique store said that he had just got it from an estate sale. Didn't know much about the piece, but he let it go at a good price. I put it up in our bedroom so that I could surprise my wife for her birthday. The paranormal activity started instantly. That night, my wife was almost restless. We had gone to bed early, but she couldn't fall asleep. It was like every time she would get up and move, she would see her reflection in the mirror, just out of the corner of her eye. She would get these strange feelings like her own reflection was watching her. I finally drifted off to sleep myself, but in the middle of the night, my wife woke up to a noise. She opened her eyes and saw that the mirror was hanging crookedly on the wall. She got out of the bed to adjust it, but she didn't see her own reflection in there. Instead, she saw the reflection of a woman's face in the mirror. She was pale and gaunt. She had sunken-in eyes and a twisted smile. My wife screamed and jumped backwards and woke me, startled me, and she pointed to the mirror. I walked over to the mirror and I didn't see anything. I saw myself. I fixed the mirror back onto the hook of the wall and went back to sleep. It must have just been a nightmare, sweetheart. Just go to sleep. I wish it was just a nightmare. It continued that way for days. My wife became drawn to the mirror, and the woman in the mirror would appear nightly, her reflection getting closer and closer, getting more and more detail. My wife said she could hear it whispering things to her, things that she couldn't understand, but it was terrifying. My wife couldn't sleep anymore. She started to lose weight. Her hair started to fall out. Everything about the mirror just frightened her. She didn't know what to do. And me, as her husband, I didn't know what to do. One night, I awoke out of bed to see my wife just standing there, looking into the mirror. Closer and closer. She was almost in a trance. I tried to speak to her and she didn't hear me. She was paying no attention to me, just talking to the reflection in the mirror, her reflection in the mirror. And her reflection began to look more and more like the woman in the mirror. The more hair she lost, the more sickly she became, the more her eyes sunk into her head. This mirror was evil, and I had to find a way to break her out of the trance. I grabbed a light next to the bed and I smashed the mirror into a million pieces. My wife woke out of whatever trance that horrible, evil, cursed mirror had put on her. For the first time, I felt like I was finally looking at my wife again. We have to get out of here. Let's go spend the night somewhere else. Let's get away. I drove that night to a hotel. We just needed sleep. We just needed to go to sleep. During the car ride there to the hotel, I asked her, like, what were you talking to in the mirror? What was the mirror saying to you? I don't even know, my wife said. The lady in the mirror told me that I would never escape. I'd never escape. Thank you so much for smashing the mirror. That thing, there's something with it. It was horrible. Thank you for smashing the mirror. I thought it would all be over. I really did. But the moment we got to the hotel, I fell asleep. I was exhausted as well. It felt like it was finally over. Until the next morning. She wasn't in bed. I had no idea where she was. Sweetheart, where are you? Nothing. But I could see the shadow of her reflection standing in the bathroom. There, in the reflection of the mirror in the bathroom, the same woman who was in the reflection of the evil mirror that we had hanged in our bedroom. there truly is no escape.